So here's what I know. There are a certain number of people who are hindering themselves from making money because they're waiting to take these unnecessary steps, like having an expensive logo or getting a virtual assistant certification or just needing an EIN, which is a really simple process. So I want to break these down really fast because what I want for you is to stop hitting barriers to making your money online as a freelancer or as a virtual assistant. So here's the deal. You do not need a certification. I'm not saying a course isn't a good thing, but especially as you're starting out, realize that the main thing you're going to take away from the course is information. Having a certificate from any given course is not going to make you really stand out that much unless maybe that client is also extremely new to the market and doesn't know what they're doing. But for the clients that you actually want to get, who are stable in their operations and have regular revenue, they're not going to care. They're going to care about your results. So a virtual assistant course certification doesn't really matter. Now, if you want to get a certification, get it in specific skill sets that you can then beat out the competition and say, not only do I have experience in this area, like Go High Level or WordPress or Shopify, but I've also taken a course and got the certification for whatever performance in that course. Now that can be a good path, but still not necessary. Start with the skills that you already have and are your core competencies that you're really good at and that you could do better than other people, right? Or at least a percentage of other people. Business license, business tax ID, all that fun stuff. Let me tell you this. An EIN takes a few minutes on the IRS website. You do not have to get it through somebody else saying that they can help you or anything like that. You literally log on and get your EIN. It's a very simple, straightforward process. I recommend anyone who's considering going into business for themselves, just go ahead and do it so you have it, right? Register as a sole proprietor, and when the time comes and it makes sense to be an LLC, and then if you need support or something like that, then maybe look for help. But realize, right, that the process is laid out without needing to pay somebody to take you through it. The other thing is, when it comes to business licenses, call your local city, right? That's what I did when I was in Florida, and they told me everything that I needed to do in terms of business license to be following their city and state laws. So that's a big option. You know, you don't have to use your time like searching on the internet trying to find an answer and being unsure. Just call your local government and find out. You can even just Google, like, you know, business license, you know, insert your city or state, and it should give you the contact information, and you just call. The last thing I want to touch on is stop getting hung up on logos. They literally do not matter, okay? And I have people who, like, they feel like this is the biggest expense that's keeping them from starting because they need to pay $500 for a logo. You don't need that. You just need something to pair with you that's easy on the eyes, not too many colors, not too complex, that people can remember when they see you. In addition to your face, but especially if you're like an introvert and you're not using your face in your branding, a logo is essential. It's super simple, easy to remember, and goes with some sort of bold statement. Like for me, for a long time, it was, I'm a digital efficiency technician, right? I help you improve the processes that are hindering you from being able to sustain growth, scale, or rectify losing growth, right? Losing operational stability. So anyways, that's to say, what we want to do is create a memory, but we do not have to be extra about the logo. So if you're standing still because you didn't have a certificate, because you don't have your EIN, because you need a logo, bam, go online, get your EIN. You don't need a really crazy logo. Use something that can generate an image. Make something simple yourself in Canva. It does not matter. You just want it to be super simple, preferably no words, right? Because words are always really hard to read and remember in a logo. All right, you guys got this. Make your money.